Okay, we are in business and I can now mute people. Michelle is still in. Yeah. I'm gonna make Steve co-host first. Steve's more important. Okay, 1 second. Andre's co-host. There we go. Awesome. Okay. So welcome to everyone. I feel like you guys got like an extra 3 minutes to get on this call. You don't even realize how good this is going to be. And I know how this is, and I said this on the team group. Wow, that is chaotic. I said this in the team group, how a lot of us are women and we're used to seeing female coaches come in. And as soon as I have like a dude other than Carl Deichler or a super trainer, everyone's like, oh, I don't know what's happening. Listen, like honestly, a professional marketer who you guys all, like I was talking to a coach today that said like, I've reached out to 1,500 people. No one's saying yes to me. I don't know what to do. And I just need like people coming to me that are big, which is, you guys, that's a lead. Like that's someone that is ready and willing to start with you, that understands what you're doing and that's interested. So that's why we called Steve to talk to you guys. And he's he's amazing. Not only just an amazing person, but an amazing business person. He truly understands marketing, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And he's helped us tremendously just understand the ins and outs of all of this. So I hope that you guys enjoy this. Like honestly, take a bazillion notes because I will. I'm about to kick people off this call if they don't mute themselves. Take it away, Steve. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on with us.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. You guys are an awesome team, and so many of you are here as well. I've done team calls before, and it's like been 10 people, and there's like nearly 100 of you guys. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped to be here, and as you can tell, I'm in California. I've got the California accent and everything. So it's like a surfer dude. I dressed up for you guys because you guys have all got such beautiful Instagrams. I thought I'm gonna make an effort. So I've got an extra special for you. I'm chuffed, as we would say in England. I'm chuffed to be here and to talk to you about marketing because it is my passion. And I initially got into working specifically with network marketers a couple of years ago. Right now I work with. She's happy for me to let everybody know. I work with Melissa McAllister. She's one of my biggest clients, and she's 6-time top 10. And we've helped take her from smaller numbers to bigger numbers. Essentially, we doubled her annual Success Club points in the first year we worked with her full time. And this year already, she's done more Success Club points than the previous years. And so we like to help people meet people. We got some feedback coming here. Do we have it set so that when everyone comes in, they get muted? Mute all. Continue. There you go. Okay. So everybody who comes in will be muted now. So we don't get any of that feedback. So one of the things that we like to do is to help people understand who they want to work with. So and we work specifically with network marketers. It's funny. I had one network marketer come to me and say to me, I tried to work with a traditional marketing agency and they didn't even know what network marketing was. And it's different. It's because this is such a people business. We're actually going through a rebranding now. So don't follow me on social because I don't do anything on social, and our website isn't that great. But it's going to be in about 2 weeks' time. We're going to have gone through our own rebranding because we realized that we're getting all this great referral business because we work with top people and top people talk to top people, and that's generally how our business has grown. But we want to be able to work with everybody. We want to be able to help everybody. So network marketing, people business, right? It's a people business. And that's what most marketers don't get because they want to just automate things and have automated stuff at the end that tracks whether someone's made a purchase. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that because Carl Deichler is not going to allow you to put a little flag on the end of your Beachbody purchase so you know that someone purchased, and then to duplicate that 1,000 times, right? Just isn't going to happen. So what we try and do is we try and use a little bit of automation still because it's really fun, and we try and help take people from not knowing anything about you, about what you do, to kind of liking you, to all the way through to wanting to work with you. Now, Angie said Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. I could talk to you about any of those things. So make sure as your questions come up, you put them in the chat box, and we'll get around and answer as many of those as we can before Angie kicks me off the line. And in the meantime, I'm going to throw together some slides. I did a presentation for a Diamond coaches retreat in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. And I have a presentation which I'm going to show. I don't generally do presentations in this way anyway. I actually teach for a four-year university here in California. So I teach organizational behavior, which is all to do with motivation, and organizational learning, which is obviously all to do with learning. I teach marketing. I'm going to be teaching some Dale Carnegie stuff in the next couple of years as well. I'm going to go and do that training. But anyway, for now, I am going to hopefully be, here we go. All right. Angie, can you unmute yourself and tell me if you can see my screen? That's not the screen I want you to see. That just gave away the whole presentation before I've actually started the presentation.
Don't worry. It was so quick, we didn't see it. But yeah,
Perfect.
We could see it.
Perfect. And it's still showing the same one. I don't want that one. This one. There we go. That one's fine. Now you can see this one. This one's fine. Yeah. Okay, so you can see that?
Yep.
All good. Okay. So I like to think of things as a journey from prospect to promoter. And a prospect is someone who doesn't know who you are and they don't care about you. I'm sorry, they don't care about you to start with. Okay. Have I got the wrong slides here? I believe marketing is based on a journey. And it's a journey from someone not knowing who you are. Angie's like, what did I sign up for here? From not knowing who you are to wanting to work with you and wanting to promote your products. And we're a digital marketer certified partner, which is a training company for digital marketers. And it gives us a lot of credibility in what we do. And they base their whole marketing value journey, and we base ours on the 12 stages of intimacy. The 12 stages of intimacy start when you see someone. You see them across the room and you're like, you check them out, right? Does it sound weird with a British guy saying check someone out? But eyes to body, eye to eye. I'm sure this is how Andre wooed Angie from the other side of the room. Voice to voice, you start that conversation. Maybe you hold hands, arm to shoulder, arm to the waist, maybe a little low, mouth to mouth. I'm not going to carry on walking through this, but you can see that there's a process, right? And if you jump from step 1 to step 11 without going through that process, you're probably going to end up in court or in the White House here in the United States. I can say that I didn't vote, so, or on the Supreme Court, right? Anyway, moving on, because we're not going to touch politics today. I believe there's a journey too. And there's kind of 3 stages where someone doesn't really know you, they become a prospect, and then they become a buyer. And you've got things that map to this already. I'm going to talk to this, and you're like, oh, I do that. But maybe I need something in here to help with that. So this is what I think of as the marketing value journey. So awareness is where someone becomes aware of you. So that could be a Facebook ad that you use. It could be a beautiful Instagram. It could be a YouTube. The next stage is engagement, where they start to actually do something with you, right? So if you attract them with a wonderful Instagram post and then you push them up into your stories somehow, when they see your stories and they start to comment, or they start to comment on your posts on your Facebook page, that's engagement. That's the next stage. We've moved from eye to body to maybe having a conversation a little bit here. I then like to think of connection as that next stage where, you potentially become each other's friends on Facebook. When you're dating and you become friends on Facebook, that's kind of a serious deal, right? Because they can scroll through and see just how fucking crazy you are. Hopefully my language won't offend anyone. I've always heard that it sounds less harsh in a British accent. So participation is when they take part in that sneak peek. I know you guys rock sneak peeks, or in a free group, which still does well. This is a stage that a lot of people forget. And it's a really important stage. You want to get them riled up and get them excited after they've done something with you. They've spent time with you on a sneak peek. They've listened to your videos. They've done something with you. You want to rile them up. You want to get them excited. And then you move them into that purchase stage. And then the next stage is kind of like, well, okay, I bought this. I've become a coach. I've got this Shakeology. What the hell is this? Does it taste like chalk? How come I can't shake it in a shaker? and make it taste good. I drink Shakeology, so I understand all these things. Affirmation is all about saying, hey, you made a good decision. And then the next stage would be referral. So if they're not in as a coach right away, although I know you guys sign a lot of coaches right away, but if they're not in as a coach straight away, you need to be like, hey, you know anyone who might be interested in doing this? Get them posting things out there. And then finally is kind of like promoting. That's when they're a coach. That's when they're all in. They're like, yes, come join my challenge group. I'm a Beachbody coach. Let's do this. Okay. But the first thing to start with is avatar. Avatar, not the blue things. Avatar as in customer avatar, who you want to work with. Let me stop this share and then pick up. I have an avatar that I'm going to show you, an example avatar that we did for a client. And here it is. So when I think of an avatar, I want more than just, I want to work with working moms. It just isn't enough. I need to know more than that. And so I'm going to show you one of the avatars that we created for Kelsey Shackley. You may know her name. She's up and coming. I think she's 29th in the business right now. She's in Janelle's team. And this was the avatar that we created for her based on a couple of interviews with her. So her avatar is Jenny. We like to give our client, our avatars a name because we feel like we can then think, well, would Jenny like this post? Does this help Jenny live her life better? So that's kind of what we have going on here. So, and then we frame it. So, and I'll share the link for this with you afterwards. So you guys can look over it and you can build your own. Go for it. Jenny's a mum. She wants to be healthier. She wants to feel good about herself. She wants to be more confident, and perhaps she wants her husband to check her out as she's walking through the house. She's likely gained a little weight in college and has been trying to lose it, but it's not been easy with being a wife, a mom, working a job. She's living life, but not loving life. It's important for her to spend time with her kids, and she'll get messy with them in sweatpants, but at the same point, she likes to get glammed up for a date night with her husband. So this is us framing her and who she is. And then we talk about her problem, right? So in this case, Jenny doesn't feel fulfilled. And we go on. I'm not going to read this whole thing for you. I'll give you a copy of it so you guys can look over it. But this is, she doesn't, her life lacks purpose. She doesn't know why she does what she does. And we try and use the same stock photo person all the way through. You see, so that we can see her getting happier. And then we place Kelsey, in this case, as the mentor. So, why should Jenny trust you? Well, Kelsey's been there and done that. And she's got authority because she's got healthier. We can see this is her before and after here. So when you're thinking about working with people, I know you may think that the vital behaviors are ridiculous, but you want people to trust you. I always, and if anyone's ever seen me speak before, I always talk about Mr. Miyagi. You've all seen The Karate Kid, right? You're all old enough to have seen The Karate Kid? Probably not, right? But I'm going to do it. I'm going to frame it as The Karate Kid first of all, and not the new one with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's son, because it's just not as good. Okay, it has to be Ralph Macchio, who's like 42, playing a 20-year-old kid. It has to be that. And if not, I'm going to talk to you about Legally Blonde afterwards for you guys who are young, right? Okay, so as a coach, as a business leader, your role is to be a mentor. It's to be a mentor. Your role is to be the person that shows someone the way. You are Yoda, they are Luke Skywalker. You are Mr. Miyagi, they are Danielson. You are Reese Witherspoon, they are the girl who wants to bend and snap, okay? Fabulous, right? Okay, so that is your role. And I want you to always think about that role. And then going back to this slide here, to be that mentor, you have to show empathy. Posh word for show that you understand people. If you've been where they are and you've changed your life, you understand them, right? So maybe you've been overweight. Maybe you've had trouble with Hashimoto's. Maybe you've got a gluten intolerance. Maybe you were forced to be an architect when you really wanted to be a superstar leader of a huge team, right? That's how you show your empathy. And you show your authority by showing them that you've done it. by showing them that you've done it. And it doesn't have to be business. If you're just in this to start with, your authority can be as little as showing someone you earned $100 this week, $400 this month, $1,000, $10,000, $15,000, etc. Your authority can come from all of those areas. It doesn't have to be that you're a millionaire from this yet, because that is such a huge leap from zero to millionaire. It's almost harder for very successful coaches to be able to say, well, this is how you do it, because everyone's like, well, you've been doing this for years, right? So you're at that stage, if you're new in your business, that you're showing people those baby steps that they take. And that's what your role is as the mentor. How I think of it, movies aside, if you've got a big rushing river in front of you and you say to someone, hey, let's just cross that river, they're like, huh? How can I do that? And then this next step is you give them a plan and tell them how to do it. So what you say is, look, there's a stepping stone there, and that one there, and that one there. So we'll jump on that one first, and then on that one, and then on that one, and then we'll get to the other side of the river. And that's what you should be doing. You should be making it as simple as possible. So when someone says, well, what's a challenge group all around? Well, I work with you. We find a program that works for you. We get it all delivered to you, and then you get amazing support, and then you get great results. Keep it to 3 to 5 steps. Don't make it 9. I don't know why my presentation is about 9 steps, but anyway, 3 threes, right? Forget that it's 9. It's 3, then 3, then 3. Okay, so in this case, Jenny needs to make a decision to work with Kelsey, either engaging in a challenge group. She needs to dig in and do it, and then she needs to see success. And then there's that call to action. Come on, join me, do this challenge with me. Get people ready to dive in. Okay, call to action or adventure. Your role, just as the role for Yoda was go out, Luke, use the Force. Right, that was Yoda's call to action to Luke Skywalker. Luke, use the Force. Luke, use the Force. Okay, that was the call to action. And yours is, hey, come join me, be a coach. Hey, come join my challenge group. Make it sound better than that online fitness group, because everybody uses the word challenge group. Mix it up. You've got a box. Think outside of it. I've got a lot of energy today. I'm not sure where this is coming from. I didn't even drink any Diet Coke today. Bad thing to drink. Okay. We should also talk in our marketing. We should talk a little bit about failure, a little about what happens if you don't work with you. I'm not sure how much you do this, but failure is like salt in a recipe. If you put a little bit in, it's going to enhance the flavor. If you put too much in, everyone's going to think you're a moaning Minnie, or whatever we call it, a whining Winnie, whatever that turns out to be. But you need a little bit of salt in your marketing. There was a marketing. This is based on a marketing principle that we were exposed to, and essentially on a conversion page, they put in, don't keep missing out, and their rate of return doubled. They got more people doing it because there was that negativeness in there. So don't be afraid to have a little negativity in there. Stop doing this, join my challenge group. Stop continuing doing this. Where do you want to be in a year? Do you want to still be miserable as fuck, or do you or do you want to have a group of positive people around you who are going to lift you up and do amazing things together? And then this is just like a character transformation from one end to the other. This is where that person started, where their mind was, to speaking on a stage in front of 10,000 people. And then these are just a few quotes just to finish that off. Anyway, so that is the avatar. And I'm going to go back to the main slides now. And I see, hopefully there's no comments, not too many questions that I need to answer right away on this. And let's just jump back in here. Okay. I Zoom a lot, so I'm pretty good at jumping around things, he says. Okay, so once you've got an avatar, people are you're gonna understand who you're trying to work with, and then everything you do is gonna be better. Everything through all of these 9 stages, or 3 stages, 3 times, right, is gonna be better. Simple as that. So I'm going to take you through these 9 stages with images of Will Ferrell. My wife loves Will Ferrell that much that he got invited to our wedding. He didn't come, but he got invited. And so we'll start with awareness. Who are you and why should I care? Very simple. Who are you and why should I care? People are really simple. You guys are all simple. I'm really simple. We like things in our lives that help us do one of two things. They either help us survive or they help us thrive. So in everything you are doing, how are you making someone's life better? Worst posts I see from coaches. Here's my dinner. Beautiful, right? You could put the best picture up there, but unless you ask for something or give something, it's rubbish. British word for you there. I want a recipe. I want to know that it's done in 30 minutes, or ask me what I cooked, or tell me why I should be eating more broccoli, beef, coconut oil, whatever. Give me something. Give me value. I need value. I want to come back to your page, your Instagram, your YouTube. I want to see your full makeup. I want to see your full closet. I want to see your morning routine. I know somebody who did a couple of those videos. I was prowling her YouTube channel. But, give me value. Give me a reason to come back and look at what you're doing, right? So write posts for your avatar. If you're working, and don't ever just be as vague as busy mums. I want busy Christian mums who hate cats and love dogs. That's how, and who hate Donald Trump or who love Donald Trump. I don't care either way, honestly. But I want you to be that specific in your avatar, and then think about how you're going to post for them and how you're going to give those busy mums value. We just started working with an old school Beachbody coach, and she's like, I don't want to work more than 4 hours a day, et cetera, et cetera. And this is the sort of person that I am, and this is who I was working with them. And I wasn't a shake person, and my husband made me drink that stupid shake, and I've been drinking that stupid shake for 9 years now because it's made me healthier. And so she knows exactly how to speak to people who won't try a stupid shake. And she uses those words exactly. Brilliant. When you know who you're trying to market to, you will do amazing things. Okay. Angie's imagery attracts people who will take the time to make beautiful images. I told one of my team that I was going to be doing a call for Angie Belmare, and he was like, who's Angie Belmare? And I'm like, check out her Instagram. And he was like, oh my God, this Instagram is beautiful. It's like art. I'm like, yeah, she's pretty good at imagery. And she's a great mentor for you guys on that. So build awareness, Instagram, YouTube. If you love to write, blog, but make sure you blog for specific topics. I'm not going to go into that in this call, but we can certainly go on to it another time. Okay. But write your posts and contents to help your avatar thrive and survive, or survive and thrive. Hopefully you won't be doing too much of the surviving. It'll be more of the thriving. Next stage. They know you. I love this movie. Is it too early to watch Elf? October 18th. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. But build engagement with people. Polls. Oh, you guys love Elf. I could see the comments popping. Polls, questions. This dress versus this dress. Get them commenting on things. Get them to feel like they want to talk to you, and then talk back to them. Because if you're this person that they followed, and maybe you've got 1,000 followers on Instagram, maybe you've got 10,000 followers, and you respond to their comment, they're like, one of my other clients is Michelle Park, and I remember the first time I started working with Michelle Park. She's the PIO format expert and the modifier in PIO. I was like, that's PIO Michelle. That's the PIO Michelle. People get wowed by people when they know them. And so if they feel like they followed you for a while and they comment, they've taken the time to comment, for God's sake, comment back, say something. I don't care what, try and say something meaningful, maybe try and engage them in a conversation of some sort, but say something. Okay, so that's the next stage. So we've got them awareness, engagement. This is Instagram stories. This is polls in stories. You want them to do something. You want them to take some sort of action. And when it comes to polls, you can always do a yes, maybe, so that there's not a yes, no. Hey, would you be interested in my next online fitness group? Comment below, or click the poll below. Yes / maybe. Okay. Next, connection. Shake and bake. Virtual shake and bake with Andre. There we go. Create a connection. Download an email guide. You've got their email address. Send a friend request. They're on Facebook. You guys are friends. Get an email address, a phone number, a Facebook friend. You've got that connection. They've said, you know what? I trust you enough that maybe second date. I don't know. First date, second date. But we're going to get to that next stage. this is a great place to be. Once you get people to this stage, you will have the ability to get in there and show them that you are genuinely caring about them and taking them to the next level. I'm going through this quick. I hope you guys are understanding me. You can play it back at like 0.8 speed so that you can pick up everything that I've said. And maybe you get somebody can transcribe this or something. But I want to get as much value in here for you guys as possible. It's just how I like to roll. Okay. So next thing, we want to make them do something. We want to make them participate. And as I mentioned earlier, ways to participate: sneak peeks, free groups. I know you're all groaning at free groups, but the way Facebook pages are right now, and people not seeing things unless you're paying for them, get them in a Facebook group and get them participating in a Facebook group, and then just throw some stuff in there. And you want to join my next challenge group? You know, I've got a mentorship group coming up. Whatever you need to do to then move them from that group into something else. But a free group is a great way to get people together and have them somewhere. You know, somewhere that you can move them forward. Get them involved with something. You know, do a 5-day water group, something cool like that. Okay. Next, building the excitement, the pre-sale, email follow-ups, messenger follow-ups. Big thing here, right? Some of you are going to be really new to this, and you're going to be like, the fuck is all this stuff? This is crazy. I'm just getting in this to pay for my shakes or whatever. Hopefully, if you're on this call, you're trying to do more than pay for your shakes. But this is a business. This is a real business. And believe me, the 5 or 6 people I work with that make over $1 million a year from network marketing know that this is a business. And that's the difference between those people and a lot of people who just get into this and they'll be like, oh, it didn't work for me. I tried that. It's a business, right? So an email system is a great way of being able to communicate with people. Do follow-ups, messenger follow-ups. Even when you don't feel like doing it, follow up. I turn up for work 7 days a week. I have a lot of work to do, which is a good thing. It's a good place to be, but you've got to keep showing up. You've got to keep showing up. You can't stop following up 2 or 3 times. Some people will take 7 times to sign up as a coach. Some people will be skeptical at you for a year, and then you'll go back to them and they'll be like, oh, I've been watching you. Yeah, I'm thinking I should do that now. And you'll do it. You've got to follow up. Set up a system. It can be a piece of paper, and then you go back every 3 days, and then maybe you put them to a 7-day file, and then maybe you put them to a 10-day file, but you got to keep following up with them. This is a business, people. And then it's time to buy. It's time to close the deal. Hopefully you're not quite so skeezy as Will Ferrell in this movie. This is the campaign. Be direct, ask multiple times. No equals not now. I was working with a business coach recently, and I said, I hate cold calling. You know, I'm at the stage of my business that I'd like to grow it and like to do some cold calling and get some local people in, because I work with a load of network marketers and I never get to meet them in person. It's like always working through a computer screen. So I'm like, it'd be nice if I could meet some people in person sometimes. So let's try and get some local business. And I was like, I don't like the thought of cold calling. And she was like, well, think of it in this way. Cold calling should be for the benefit of the person that you're reaching out to. And it should be the same with you, with network marketing and messaging. You're not reaching out for the sale. You're not reaching out for the Success Club points. You're reaching out because you genuinely think you can change that person's life. New vital behavior, they've switched them up. Getting people results is one of the vital behaviors, whether that be a customer or a coach. So how can you help someone get in and get better fitness results? How can you help someone get in and get better coach results? And when you reach out to someone, you're not looking for the sale. You're not desperate for the 2 Success Club points. You genuinely think, or you know, that they can get in and get great results, whether that be as a customer or a coach, and that can change their life. And if you reach out to people like that, you won't even think twice about it. You won't even think twice about having to cold message people. Not necessarily cold message people, because that generally doesn't work. You know, if I get a message from a stranger, I'm like, nope, block. Unless they've got so many mutual friends, and then you might be like, okay, yeah, maybe. And you just check that they don't know too many people, and check that their picture has, you know, at least 80% clothing on if they're a dude. And then God knows with women, Beachbody coaches, half of them are in bikinis, but then you get anyway, let's not go there. The goal is a sale at this point. Moving on. Affirmation. Help them make a good decision, not a bad decision. Build buyer confidence, email series, voice messages. You can use voice messages in your excitement stage as well. go through after your sneak peek and say, hey, I'm so glad you're on my call. Here's this, 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 and this. You can, your excitement could also use like a testimonial. So maybe you've got a video that you might want to send that, like, you know, here's so-and-so from my team and they did amazing things and look at this. But build confidence. You could send an email series. It's like, hey, you just bought your challenge pack. A week later, you send them an email that says, hey, you should have got it by now if Beachbody shipping was all good and everything like that. And then 3 days later, you can say, how are you making your Shakeology? Here's my favorite way of making Shakeology. And then you can avoid that issue of it's chalky. It doesn't mix very well. You can preempt those things and avoid returns. That's what good affirmation does. You don't want negative Success Club points for a challenge pack coming back. You don't. So you can follow up with voice messages, with email, with Instagram messages. Make them comfortable about their purchase. Make them feel, you know, one of the things that we don't realize, and I did with Shakeology, the first time I drank Shakeology, I went to the DMV in California, which is brutal. I needed to go and get my license done because I'm not from around here. You know that. And I didn't have an appointment. And I'd had breakfast and then I had Shakeology after breakfast. And I went down for this appointment at 11 o'clock thinking, hey, I'll be back at noon and I can eat my dinner at that point. Lunch, sorry. Britishness keeps slipping in. 2 o'clock, I left the DMV. And I wasn't hungry. And absolutely because of Shakeology, really helped keep me full. But if I didn't think about that, because some people don't think about these things, they don't think about what's suddenly making them regular. Why their nails are suddenly stronger, or their skin's suddenly more beautiful, or their hair's stronger. They don't think about this stuff. So if you can introduce that in an email series afterwards, hey, have you noticed you're a bit more regular now? Might be the Shakeology. It feels good, right? You know, I guess I should have said this early on, but I studied undergraduate in languages, French, German, and Spanish. I was outnumbered 10 to 1. Girls to guys. I lived in a house, final year, 4 girls and me, and now I have a wife and 2 daughters. So I'm really used to what women talk about. So I can talk about how constipation can really make women not feel good. And if Shakeology can make them feel less constipated, awesome. Moving on. They're ready to talk about it. They're ready to talk about what they do. So you build traction. You know, Jamie Fitzpatrick did a great talk on this summit, not this year, last year, but talked about how they had people in their group share their results, even if they were just a challenger. Have them put something on Facebook or Instagram and tag them. Have them dip their toe into coaching. This is a great way of moving someone from being a customer to a coach. Say, you know, post something interesting about water that you've learned from this group on a page and tag me in it. And then you see that they're doing it. You know that they're kind of moving towards being a coach if they're not one already. And if they are a coach, maybe they've just gone through that first month and they're just like dipping their toe in the water, seeing what this is all about. And then you start to get them out to do that thing. You get them to move to that next stage. And then finally, they want to build a team. We're going streaking in the quad. I'm going to build a 15-star diamond superstar team. Let's go. Create business builders. Have them speak up about what they do. Have them reach out to people in their avatar group. There is, you know, the beautiful thing about avatar is when you get more specific, there's no one in your space. There's no one in your space. There's no one who loves country music and heavy metal and has dogs and cats and has adopted children and foster children, you know, whatever. I'm going to extremes here. But as you build down your niche, there's no people that are doing what you're doing. So the idea here is to get them in, get them building, get their business going, get them up to that next stage. And that's that there. Let me see what my next slides are. Okay, changing world of marketing right now. Facebook pages get no traction, but they're more important than ever. Amazing things happening with Facebook. I'm going to show you an example of a Facebook bot, which is one of the cool things we're doing right now. Facebook groups are the new thing. Facebook's putting a lot of effort into groups. There's going to be the ability to charge for groups through Facebook coming soon. And you can also do things like track people from a group who click to links on your website. So if you have a group, a free group, and you put a tracking pixel on your web page that talks about coaching, you can see who's been there and you can run ads to those people. Instagram and Facebook are getting strict on MLM ads. they're getting a lot more strict. You have to have things in there that say this is a business opportunity, and some things are still slipping through and some things are getting stuck. YouTube and Pinterest are still relatively untapped markets. People don't necessarily get how to work them and how to build that audience. And you know what? Use the 3-3-3. Build people, give them value. Your target audience, give them value. How can you help them thrive? That's how you build a YouTube channel. That's how you build a Pinterest channel. Automation bots are doing amazing things. We are I think we're at the forefront of this. We're doing things that no one else is doing right now. I'm going to show you one of those. And it sounds terrible, automation bots, because no one wants to think they're talking to a robot. But it's just a way to kind of segment things and move things to a human-to-human conversation. So this is one of the things we do for Melissa. And so it says, there's an ad, first of all, that says, get my 8-hour abs for free. So essentially that ad is the awareness. And once you capture the email, you've taken them from awareness straight into connection. And so I'm going to play this little video and you can see what happens. So what happens is they get this message into their inbox and then they click give me abs. And it says, okay, great. Can I get your email address? And I'll send it right to you. And there you go. There's my email address being popped in there. I probably make typos as I go through it. And then for those of you who don't know Melissa, she has an 8-hour abs ebook. So that automatically is connected with an email system. So that sends it off to that person. And then they'll get stuff forever. And this next thing says, now you know when I eat, would you like to learn what I eat too? And so she has the MAID diet, which is her $9.99, I believe, product that she sells. And people who do it obviously have had issues with eating. They want to learn to be healthier, etc. So there are also Beachbody prospects at that point as well. So this is one of the cool things that you can do with a bot. As you can see, you know, we are trying so many different things right now. We're going to be doing fitness recommendations through it. We're going to be using it to deliver values. So once you're in a bot messenger list, it's like being in an email messenger list. So if you put a new recipe up for keto tortillas, I don't know, keto tacos, I'm sure it can exist. You can send that out to people who are in your messenger bot. Maybe you can just send it out to the people who've got the keto tag that you put on there. And while I'm here, keto can be done with Beachbody. What I always say to people is Beachbody is the way you earn money, but you're the brand and you build around how to make the money. So Melissa will talk about higher fat, lower carb and intermittent fasting. And someone else will be like, I love carbs. I'm not giving up carbs. And this is the way I do it. And I use the container method and I use 2B mindset. And you can do all of those things and be a Beachbody coach, just for the record. So don't rule out anyone because they're like, oh, I'm keto, etc. Anyway, rant over. They're the sorts of things that you can do there. All that being said, I've just given you so much information and so many different things to do. I want to end with this slide. I think this is my last one. So this is you, and you've got a problem. You want to get to that mountain over there, right? You want to get to that mountain over there. And that's success for you. The pot of gold, right? This is you retiring from work, retiring your husband from work, buying that lake house, buying a timeshare at Disney, annual passes at Disney, whatever it is. But the problem is you don't know how to get there. And this is what most coaches do. They start building bridges and they stop building bridges. Did you see so-and-so? They're all about Instagram. I'm going to do everything on Instagram. And then someone's like, well, you see Melanie Mitro, she built her whole business on blogs. I need to do blogs as well. So they stop working on Instagram and they move to the blogs, or they then move to Facebook, or they then move to Instagram, or maybe they think we should do some business cards, or I should become a PIO instructor and go and do that. And people just build half-built bridges. What I want you guys to do is I want you to choose one bridge, first of all, to finish and carry on doing that and get that set up. And then once you've done that, I want you to do the next one. So if you're going to do a website, do a website. If you're going to do Pinterest, do Pinterest. Don't keep jumping around. Get your blinkers on. Get your blinkers on and stop looking at everything else. And once you do that, you'll build a bridge. And look, yay! Amazing animation skills, as you can tell. I'm an animator, should have been. But this is what can happen, right? This is the sort of thing that you can do. And then let me just have a look And, we looked and there's 59 different ways you can build your business. So there's no wonder you're being confused. So what I want you to do is I want you to choose one and to do it. Okay. Like there's a bajillion comments.
I've been looking for questions and I didn't really see anything
specifically.
Okay.
I just made people laugh a lot, right?
That was amazing. So the one thing that Carl, one second.
Hi, Carl.
Carl's here. He's such an asshole. He only does it whenever I unmute. He was quiet the whole call.
Carl, he just wanted to contribute.
Oh, he's like sassy. So for me, the biggest thing that you shared is kind of the theme of my day right now, because I've been listening to training calls and I've been on a call with Ashley Molstead this morning. I've been on 2 with Ashley. And one thing that she talked about, and that we'd kind of discussed this, is it's fascinating to me that, I don't know if you guys know who Ashley Molstead is. She basically has built her brand on getting drunk live on Facebook. And she admits to this. I love her for it. Would Melanie Mitro ever do that? No, absolutely not. And I think that it's fascinating that there's such different people and they've built it on entirely different platforms. So Ashley built her business on Facebook and now more so Instagram stories. And I asked her this question today, how are you getting your leads? And she said Instagram stories. And Melanie, it's all her blog. And 2 entirely different humans, but the reason why they're successful is they're 100% themselves, so specific to their core. And I asked Ashley this and I said, what's your avatar? And she said a girl that honestly hates her body, that wants to eat all the things. I asked her opinion on her challenge group. She said, I do not do Lift 4 because the idea of a cheat day is miserable for me. And I don't think that eating food should be cheating. That's how she's so narrow in her belief and who she is. And same thing with Melanie. Melanie would never do a bikini body boot camp. It's who she is to her core.
Yeah.
And my point in saying all this is a lot of you guys are going on your Instagram stories or doing a video or hosting a free group, and you're literally talking as though you're supposed to be Melanie Mitro instead of just talking like you're talking to your best friend. And I think that's the fall off. And that's Steve, I feel like you nailed that point home, so clearly and so well said, with the best slides I've ever seen in my entire life. I just hope that everyone got that. You just have to be your damn self. And that's the coolest business ever to be in. But that was just really well laid out.
It's so true, because you may go out and I need people who can sell this shit, right? I want people who can sell so they can go diamond quickly, and I can go 15-star diamond. And so you go out looking for those people, and then you have to take them around a diamond retreat and they're miserable. You don't want to be around with those people. Can you imagine Melanie with 15 Ashley Moldstats away at a diamond retreat?
Exactly.
So it is. It's and that's a huge thing. That's a huge thing. You want to find your new best friends. And if you think about it in that way, and having seen it happen with people as they grow as coaches, they get better friends to a certain extent. And I'm not sure if any of you have dealt with this, that you've kind of been in that situation that your old friends kind of are oh, well, they don't understand it. They don't understand that what you're doing. And that a lot of them are cynical, of course, because people are cynical about network marketing, although I believe it's a really strong business model and you can do amazing things. So that aside, you want to make friends with people that you want to hang out with. And again, a client we started working with recently, this is how I've been doing my stuff. And to be honest, I don't really want to be on a diamond retreat with my diamonds. And we're okay, well, we got to change your avatar and really think about how you're going to work with people.
You know what I thought was really cool when you shared, do you guys know Kelsey Shackley? Hopefully you guys do. She's in the top 30 right now. I've known her for 5 years. I met her at my first summit when I was a 2-week-old coach, and the avatar, when you were explaining it, that's Kelsey. And I honestly got misty eyed, because that was Kelsey 5 years ago that just wanted Dean to look at her. It literally, that's her. And I know that because I'm her friend. But that's the person that she's thinking of whenever she writes a post or does a video. And that's what I try and do, the same thing, where it's that person that was forced into a job that they didn't want and has parents that just want them to succeed and might be a little bit skeptical. And so anytime that I send an invite, anytime that I write to someone, I don't write to them as though what would Melanie say or what would Ashley say? I think about how would I want to be approached without this sounding super weird.
Mm-hmm. It's so true. Kelsey's an amazing story as well, because she kind of didn't get into coaching. She wasn't in it. She kind of messed around for a couple of years, and I'm sure you've got people who are the same, that they've kind of they're in there, they've got a huge potential to do something, but then at some point they're like, let's make this happen. Let's do this. And that's what happened with Kelsey. She shot up from 2-star to, I think she's 9 or 10-star qualifying right now, something up there, doing amazing things. That's what you can do when you kind of put your mind, you trigger that to it. And on that same note, you know, when I did an interview with her and Dean, and he's like, yeah, the best place to work out is behind your wife in the living room. If I said that to my wife, I'd be in the lake over there and she'd chop me up. But that's who she is, right? Because she's all, you know, she's so much more about, you know, I'm not being objectified and things like that. And it's fine, because the beauty about marketing is you can work with who you want, right? You can work with who you want. So if you don't want to work with people who are like that, don't post for people like that. You know, if you want to post about checking out, having your husband check you out while you're working out, you're going to get that sort of person there. And that's the thing, you know, when you have that avatar crystal clear, sit down, spend some time doing it, you will know exactly who you want to work with. And then you will think about everything. You know, I first did a call on Avatar a year ago. It was just after the Ariana Grande bombing in Manchester. And you can hear my voice breaking already. It always does when I tell this story. But like, if you're a cautious mom, right? You don't let your kids walk home from school on their own, right? Because you're worried that someone's going to pick them up and sell them into sex trade or whatever it is, you know? And so you are like super cautious. You drive them to the entrance of the concert and you say, I'll see you in a couple of hours after the concert. We'll meet right here. You set that up to be as safe as possible. And then some person with a backpack comes in and blows up the concert. And if you know that your avatar is that mom that would be dropping them off at that entrance, that's how specific you can get on your avatar. You can write a post to them that's going to touch them right here. And if you touch them right here, they'll be there. They'll be eating out of the palm of your hands, for want of a better way of saying it. But they will understand that you understand them. They'll understand that you understand what it's like to be a mom in a world where maybe it's not so safe as it was 50 years ago, or maybe we know about a lot more going on than we did 50 years ago. And so when you know that sort of thing, you know how to write, you know how to respond to a school shooting or anything that goes on, and how your avatar would respond to that. Who knows? Maybe you love guns and you protect your Second Amendment rights fiercely. So you know how your avatar is expecting you to respond to that school shooting. You're going to respond about better mental health care or things like that. And that's fine. If that's who you're looking to work with, you know how to respond to that. You know how to respond to that. Sorry, I get passionate talking about Avatar. I you know, Simon Sinek will tell you it's all about your why, and it is. It's all about your why, but it's also about your who. Your who is so important. It really is.
I love that. It's very true. I hope that it almost like brings peace to people, because it's like it does. There's no secret. It's literally just be as authentically yourself as possible and hustle. I can answer this question if you want to, Steve, or you can take it. I can make my answer short to Hillary. Like, do you want to stay in that job forever? If so, then I guess like tiptoe around it. But there's someone out there thinking the exact same thing as you, that's literally scared to go live their dreams and post and be themselves on social media because a coworker might see it. I had that. I had friends that I thought might see it. I had in-laws that I thought might see it. I had parents that I thought might see it. And one day I said, fuck it. And I thought my dreams were bigger. And I held back for months.
Yeah, so, I think you have to get to a stage where you're ready to potentially lose a job. but then if you have value to that business, which I'm assuming you do, you know, if you're out here building your own business, I'm assuming that you're not a terrible worker in a job either. Because generally good entrepreneurs are good intrapreneurs, people who are industrious within a business. You know, probably all of you did great jobs. Any of you who've retired from your job, you probably did a great job. And most of you here probably do a really good job right now. So if they think that because you've had a bad day at work, and you talk about having a bad day at work, that you don't like your business or anything like that, really? You know, everyone has bad days, and it's okay to admit you had a bad day. And that's relatable. That's what your audience is going to relate with. You know, I always talk about, from my perspective, because I'm not the healthiest person, and I have secret eating problems. So it looks like I'm eating healthily, and then, you know, I go to Walmart and I'm at the checkout and there's a Twix or, I don't know, maybe Milky Way. I don't know. It just depends how I feel. And I'll eat it, and I'll eat it, and I'll throw the wrapper away, and I'll throw the receipt away, and no one will know that I ate it, right? Any secret eaters in here?
This is my husband, 100%.
He doesn't look like a secret eater. I don't think he actually eats.
Oh my God, with cereal? It's like a 10-year-old.
Yeah. So, you know, but if you post something like that, even if it didn't happen today,
yeah,
you're going to establish your empathy. You're going to show that you understand them. It's called bulking. I love that. You should make that post. Christy. Fucking Cheerios. Oh my God. I could be on a call with you guys every week. You make me laugh.
They're cute.
You can always block off certain people. That's a good point. Someone's saying you can block certain people off. Automation is allowed. I saw a comment earlier asking about how can you not get blocked for automation. Facebook is allowing messenger bots. That's part of their strategy. So having something, it's just like a telephone tree. In the old days, it'd be like, if you want to do this, press 1. If you want to do this, press 2. It's something that's allowed. So for Instagram, I'm not sure how many of you using the Captivate app. I use that to build a following, but look specifically for your avatar. Don't go for vague people. You know, if you really want to work with people who love Shih Tzus, right? The dog. There's a joke about that. I went to a zoo and he had one animal. It was a Shih Tzu. Go and look for people who are using the hashtag. That's it. Angie's gone now. But use that. You know, who wants to talk to me right now? Nobody gets to talk to me right now. But if you love Shih Tzus, go and find people who post about Shih Tzus and use Captivate on them to get their followers, because the people who love them also love Shih Tzus. For Angie, Disney. Well, maybe Disney's a bit vague. Who's your favorite Disney character, Angie?
I can tell because I do this. So I will target pages that are Morky. So that's what Carl is. So I'll target Morky lovers. And then I have a page that I target called Disney Style, which is like outfits that you wear in Disney. Like that's how specific I am.
Yeah.
So I don't
if you just went to the Disney page, then everybody and their mum is on there.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
You get lucky and whatever, but
you can, but you want to try and be more specific. You know, one example we use, and it's going to alienate all of you, and you guys are going to walk away from this call saying it was a terrible call and you didn't learn anything from it. But golf, everybody knows who Tiger Woods are. Even if you hate golf, you know who Tiger Woods are, and you might follow him because you might be interested in what he's up to and his infidelity and everything like that. You might follow Tiger Woods, right? Or you know that he was dating Lindsey Vonn, the skier at some point, and maybe you're interested in celebrity news, so you follow Tiger Woods. Only golfers know who Bubba Watson is. You have to watch golf to know who Bubba Watson is, or Patrick Reed, or one of these smaller name people. So if you were trying to work with golfers, target one of those people, right? If you're trying to work with people over 40, look for people who are using the hashtag over 40 and go looking for it. So I think Captivate's a great way because it does the automation at a slow level. You know, there was Instagram in the past and things like that, and that was kind of a bit more spammy. Or Captivate is there we go. Sarah loves golf. Of course you do. So one person's taking this away, but you know, think about like the hashtags that they would use and go into those, and think about the unique perspective you have. If you have Hashimoto's, if you have another thyroid issue, if you have, I don't know, if you're allergic to something that very few people are allergic to, that you could talk about. Huge opportunities for those sorts of things. If you love musical theatre.
I have one last question. It's a two-sided question.
So
someone asked, what is the best? One second. I just saw the shithead comment. What is the best? Shithead, Shih Tzu, all the things. So someone said, which bot service do you use or recommend, and what would be the best way to get in touch with you to work with you?
I have a free group because I told you free groups work, right? So let me give you a link for a free group. I have a free group called Beachbody Marketing Champions. We don't post in there as much as we should, but it's not just me. I have a girl who builds bots for me. I have someone who helps on Facebook ads. We have an amazing blog writer. So it's not just me. So there's lots of value that we're trying to put in there. Let me find the link for that, and I'll drop that in there. And you guys have got my Facebook. I'm in Team Up Raw. Angie tagged the shit out of me the last couple of days, and so just send me a message that way. I'm not sure that we're at the stage 3 of me giving you a phone number or anything like that yet. So you've got to woo me a little bit more for that sort of information. But let me drop this here. Oh, someone's in that group already. There you go. Someone's OMG, I love that group. So Beachbody Marketing Champions, it's specifically, we're working on so many different things right now that we do some beta tests. We're doing a beta test with bots right now. So if that's something you're interested in, it's pocket change. It's pocket change that we're doing a 60-day beta trial with bots right now, where we're trying to set up people and showing them what you can do with it. So you can do like newsletters through bots. You know, you can send people things and so many amazing things that you can do. Got to buy him dinner next time to get that. That's right. That's right. 3 dates before anything serious, right? The 3-date rule.
I feel like you guys are so on point. My coaches are already like, thank you, because they know that they're like, his time is up. But you can stay as long as you want.
No, they're tired. It's 9 o'clock on. I'm a parent. I'm ready for bed by 9:30. So, and I've dropped my email address there as well. But feel free to reach out to me on Facebook. I don't have 5,000 friends, so you can friend request me, and I'll probably find space for you. And then any questions, I'm happy to help people with it. Get your avatar sorted.
Yeah. This was absolute gold. Like I literally went in the team group. You'll see it after, Steve. I'm like, this is fucking gold. Get on. I literally took so many notes.
I know an hour is daunting, right? And you've got coaches in your teams that are going to be like an hour, but have them just say to them, watch the first, I don't know, was I funny in the first 5 minutes?
Hilarious.
just send them a screenshot of Will Ferrell and just say, this was one of his slides. Please go and watch this. And there's an app for Chrome called HTML Speed Controller. I don't watch anything normal speed, so thank you for being here at normal speed. But you can speed people up to like double, triple speed. So if you want to get through a national wake-up call quickly or something like that, double, depending on how fast. You know, if you have someone who's from the south of America and they talk a little more slowly, you can speed them up to a bit like this. And
dying.
You can speed people up. So that's how I do a lot of my own trainings. You know, before we introduce anything as a service, we always go through it. So that's what we like to do. Anyway,
that was a really good tip.
For having me. But, yeah, I'll give you the link for it. Google Chrome HTML Video Controller, I think it's called. And you can even watch YouTube videos at double, triple. It allows you to go in increments as well. So it's not a case of 1 or 2. You can go to 1.7 if that's the speed that works best.
Dead. Amazing. Okay, straight up gold. Thank you.
Someone build a checklist of all the tips that I've given here. I'm going to use it as a freemium, and I'm going to put it on an email and then ask people for their email list and etc.
We'll put up a recap for you guys and all of the things. Seriously, Steve, thank you so much. This was absolute amazingness. You're a hero.
My pleasure to be here, guys.
You guys, I hope that this was helpful. We will all be in the team group. Steve's in there, so if you guys have a question, just tag him by all means.
Ask the question in there, because at least then everyone can see the answer as well. If there's anything specific to this,
yeah,
ask it there, because that way I can respond to it.
100%. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a good rest of your night.
Bye, Carl.
Bye.